That's a girl screaming like in agony, dude.
My eyes are watering.
I was gonna say if it was the humidity, so everything's sticky, it would get a little wet.
The
So
whole thing would come off.
yeah, but the whole thing didn't come off. It
Yeah,
just like
it just
ripped
ripped
off, like
off.
something just like ripped it off. I don't even know what to say. Like I was like shaking, like I had no words. So.
Oh, god dang. Do you like exorcisms?
Do you know what she did, your canting daughter?
Do you like haunted dolls? Have you ever seen poltergeist activity? Well, we got a shit show for you tonight. In this episode, we travel to the infamous Hinsdale House, which happens to be the most haunted house in the entire state of New York, accompanied by Paranormal XP. The evidence that we uncovered within this investigation is something that you just normally do not see, including something that has never been done before. I unleash the haunted doll that has survived 3 fires from its case. And once freed from its forever home, all hell breaks loose. EVPs, REM pods going off, music box activity, objects moving. We couldn't have asked for a better investigation. But let's pump the brakes first. I have memberships now. If you would like to join, click down below where it says join. Join is spelled J-O-I-N. And that's next to my name, Tommy Amongst the Tombstones. If you would like to know what you would be getting out of that, I will post a link to a video where I explain the information right here. So with that being said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can keep track to see how long this stash is gonna grow, and paranormal investigation videos. So without further ado, let's conjure the devil.
All right, guys, well, welcome to the Haunted Hinsdale House. The house was built in 1853. The first people that bought the house, when their last name was McMahon. And if you noticed when you came up the road, the name of the road is McMahon Road. The property used to sit on 100 acres. Over the years, they kind of sold like plots of land off of here, and now it sits on 10 acres. The thing that the house is the most famous for, you guys have probably heard of the Dandy family that lived here. They moved into the house in the early 70s, and they had 4 teenagers, Mike, Mary, Laura, and Beth. They had a lot of poltergeist activity in here. Like things would move around. They had several pets that ended up dying unexplained. They have no idea why, but they just couldn't, for some reason, pets did not stay alive around here. I've actually caught an EVP of a cat, and they've actually caught a really, really good picture of an apparition of a dog. The son, Mike, he had a really, really bad accident when they were living here right down the road, and he ended up being hospitalized for quite a while. It was a really serious accident. Several years after they moved from the house, Mike actually ended up dying, and they don't know if it was like maybe complications from the accident that he had here. Their daughter, Laura, that lived here, she suffered really, really bad depression, and the house really seemed to affect her really badly. She had a lot of issues with depression. After they moved out of here, unfortunately, a few years after they moved out, she actually ended up committing suicide. And Laura comes back here. Like every once in a while, they'll get in touch with her. So the poltergeist activity and all that kind of stuff was just kind of driving the family crazy. Like they would see stuff. They would see figures out in the, out by the pond. There were several people that actually came up that had issues with their vehicles, like their vehicles wouldn't work properly and different things like that. So just all this stuff going on just really took a toll on the family. They ended up getting a hold of a priest from St. Bonaventure, and he came here, and in 1974 he performed an exorcism on the house. The exorcism was not successful, unfortunately. It took place right over by this post right here. They said that when it happened, like when he exorcised the house, the whole house shuddered, and they said that it sounded like screaming. It was coming from the windows. It was just really terrifying for the family. And they didn't live here a whole lot longer. They ended up moving because they just couldn't take the activity anymore. Shortly after the exorcism, they moved within the next couple of months, I believe. Back where the pond is, that wasn't always a pond. There actually used to be a barn that stood there. And there was an incident where they had a big buzzsaw, and there was a little boy that was playing around the buzzsaw, and evidently the chain or band snapped and hit the child and killed him. So people have seen apparitions of a young child around the pond. They also have seen a lady in white around the pond. The story with that is that they believe it may have been a native lady. She was pregnant and her husband was away on business. Some people saw her by herself pregnant and assumed that she was having a child out of wedlock. And of course her husband was away, so she couldn't actually verify that she was married. And they ended up killing her, and the child died as a result because she was pregnant. And so they believe that may be who they see, walking around the pond some. A while back, there was a psychic medium named Amy Perry Brock that was here, came to the property, and she was led up the hill, and she felt very led to that tree. And basically what it is they call it the giving tree or the offering tree. Basically people come, they offer things like tobacco. Some people have offered like liquor, fruit, different things. But it's a way of just paying respect to the land and a way of just almost paying respect to the horrible things that happened to the natives and that kind of stuff that were in this area. Because there were a lot of natives whose lives were taken around this area. People have heard up in the woods, people have heard things like flutes, drumming. They've heard knocking, like I'm not sure if you've ever heard like with Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever, the knocking on trees. So you might try that when you go up at night. Back in the early or late 1800s, early 1900s, there was a stagecoach trail that actually ran through the property. They used this house as a bed and breakfast, and there was two brothers that lived here. And they would actually, sometimes they would actually rob the guests and kill them. If it was a winter time, because the ground is so hard, they couldn't dig holes in the ground to bury the bodies. So they actually store them down in the basement. There was two brothers that were actually fighting with each other. They got in a fight over religion, and they were up in the woods, and one of the brothers shot and killed the other one. So there's just been, there's been several deaths on the property. They have no idea when the stagecoach trail was here and they were doing, murdering people and all that kind of stuff. They have absolutely no idea how many bodies may be buried on the property, but they said there could be quite a few. They just haven't found them.
So tonight we were at the Hinsdale House, the infamous Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. And tonight we are starting off in the basement. And this is actually the second time I have been here. I never released the first video. If you want to check that out, it's on the Mr. Stash tier memberships. Just saying. So with that being said, we were starting off in the basement, which the last time I was here we actually didn't do, really. And I'm also with these two people.
Hey.
Do you want to say your names?
I'm Paige, and I'm from Paranormal XP.
I'm Tara, and I am from Paranormal XP.
We've also been here before. We were here literally like 2 months ago, and we also didn't get anything in the basement, so yeah, that's why we're here right now. And we couldn't really pinpoint the haunting, so that's the goal tonight.
I also forgot to do the knocks.
You can refilm it if you want.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
No, you gotta give a knock, though. Okay, there we go. This is John. He sometimes films right for these episodes. He's the cameraman tonight. Hello? Hello?
Is there anyone down here with us?
I am. Who are you?
I heard there might be bodies buried in this basement. Is that true?
Is that actually what they said?
Yeah.
Oh, they never told me that.
There was was
They went to the bathroom, is that what it said?
I don't know. There was two brothers that lived here who would rob stagecoaches and they would kill people, right?
Yeah, bury them either in the cellar or in the hills behind the house. So there's
Yeah.
supposed to be bodies everywhere.
Yeah, so well, apparently people buried in this basement.
I'm outside. These are so clear. How many of you are down here with us right now? So yeah, if you walk down the stairs or up...
Do you remember any of us? We've all been here before.
Can you say one of our names?
I heard you call my name when I walked into the house. Do you remember me? Do you remember Tommy?
Say no.
No.
I've been here before. Do you know any of our names? We just said our names.
There's just so much.
Yeah, there's a lot actually. I'm surprised.
How many of us are down here right now, standing up?
It's hard to make out this time.
It is hard to.
Are you afraid to touch any of these little toys we have set out? You could start off simple by touching that little light up ball that Paige just set on the ground. It's not gonna hurt you.
I wonder if they're intimidated by us.
We are kind of crowding the basement.
Yeah, like
There's no room for them down here.
we don't mean you any harm. We just want to hear your story.
None of the devices will hurt you. They just show us that you're here. Can you give us a sign that you're here with us?
Can you come down the stairs? Say I'm right here.
That sounded like a kid, yeah.
Is there a little kid down here with us? That almost sounded like a little kid was trying to answer, and then someone just said no, like
Over top.
yelling over them.
Yeah. Is there a specific room you want us to go in? One that you would prefer to communicate in?
I thought it might have said I'm fine right here, or you're fine right here.
Say I'm bitter.
Yeah, maybe.
What are you bitter about? Does it say Canada?
It might have.
I think it did.
Before it said the bitter thing, I thought it said our house.
Really?
Or after it said bitter, it said our house.
Did she tell you that we got your name down here?
Yeah, she
I
did.
think it was 2 or 3 times. I don't know.
I mean, Tommy's a pretty common name, so I don't...
Yeah, I know. I just thought it was interesting because you've been here. Is there any last things you want to say to us before we move to a different room? Show us you're here. It was really great.
So at the time, we started off in the basement with a portal session, as you just witnessed, and it didn't really seem like the voices were coming through coherently. That was until post-production. The more and more I went through it, a lot of these responses were very intelligent. They were telling us how many were in the room. I also know they were saying a lot of things about our surroundings, such as it was telling us something about the bathroom upstairs, because that's the only bathroom located in the Hinsdale house. It is said that there are bodies buried in that basement. And when I asked how many of you are with us, it says that there's 10. And then another voice comes through and says more than enough. So could this be answering to the possibility that there actually is bodies buried in that basement? I also find it funny that Tara and Paige were saying when they came to the Hinsdale house the first time, it was saying my name down there. It said my name during the session as well. But the craziest thing to me is that it said Canada. Now, if you didn't know already, that Tara and Paige are from Canada, so that could be a strange coincidence, but it is very, very bizarre. So with that portion of the investigation behind us, are you guys ready to see a moving object?
So we are actually standing in the room where a structural exorcism took place, and the house is said to have not only screamed, but also shook. So let's see if we can find out. And it was also a failed exorcism, so the Dandy family ended up having to leave because it did not work. When I believe it was Phil who saw a book floating in midair and realized that the exorcism had failed. Okay, so let's start. We have cat balls, a REM pod all around the room. For all of the ghosties, you can touch any of these things. There is also an EMF reader over there and a Melorem over there.
Also, there is a apparent, in quotations, haunted doll over here. This little gal right here.
It apparently survived 3 fires. Not in this house, in other houses. So
It just doesn't want to burn.
there could be some entity in there. And this other doll with the K2 on it is apparently haunted.
It's kind of stuffy in
You
here.
look good. Look at you.
Looks so
Look at that, look at
professional.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at him.
Looks amazing.
Nice and buff with his muscles.
Are those Jeffrey Dahmer glasses?
Let's get a shot of that real quick. That does look like Jeffrey Dahmer. Anyways, so we said a little... There's a cat ball over there on the doll.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. So if there's someone or something standing over there next to the dolls, I set a little silver recorder on that case. So if you speak into it, we should be able to hear your voice. Can you say anything into that little recorder, please? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Dude, that was this. What the hell? Dude, I got goosebumps from that. It was this. Where was this even setting?
It was on the fridge. Okay, so
I mean, it is.
was on this.
Yeah.
It was attached to this, so it was literally like it was like here.
Do that.
Okay.
I mean,
About that.
was it sitting right here?
It could just be.
No, it was on here. It was
On
attached
on
to
this.
Yeah.
Now, but why would that come off from like? I was gonna say if it was the humidity, so everything's sticky, it would get a little
yeah,
wet.
but
So
the whole thing would come off.
yeah,
like
but
this.
the whole thing didn't come off. It
Yeah,
just
it
like
just
ripped
ripped
off, like
off.
something just like ripped it off. And
You and I jumped so
I know.
I'm pretty sure I swore.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't even know if I caught that on camera. So
I caught like the ass end of it.
you might have to get that to me.
You can, I can. That was weird. All right, well.
Okay,
it-
well, back to what we
Like
were
it could
doing.
be something logical, but it also could be.
It was weird.
I don't know,
Yeah.
John. What do you think?
I don't know. It was pretty scary.
Yeah, that was a little odd.
My camera went all blurry when I.
And just so you know, there's literally like tonight. It's literally just us 4.
Yeah.
John, Tara, and Paige, and me. There's no one else in the house. So, just pointing that out there. All right. Well, the recorder's still going. So hey, if that was you or anyone that knocked that, what do you call that?
It's like a notepad.
A notepad. If you knocked the notepad over, can you confirm by saying yes in that recorder? Do you have any more questions, or do you think that's good?
Let's check it.
Yeah.
Okay, that was, dude, it's gonna have all.
Oh,
What the?
No way.
and the balloon?
I kicked it.
No,
Okay,
that
you
was
kicked
wrong.
it.
Yeah, when I turned.
Can you stop touching that for a second? Just for a second. Thank you.
Bro.
that again for us? Just have to get real close to it.
They're warming up to us.
Yeah, I know.
It was weird. Yeah. It was definitely strange. I didn't know what was happening. My camera went all the way when I
Just so you know, there's literally like tonight. It's literally just us four.
There we go.
Thanks.
All right, can you stop? Thank you.
So if that was you or anyone that knocked that, what do you call that?
It's like a notepad.
A notepad. If you knocked the notepad over, can you confirm by saying yes in that recorder? I'm going to check the recording. Yes. I don't want to make it too long.
They're not comfortable enough to speak yet.
No. I'm telling you, you will get stuff up in that second bedroom. We got so many EVPs and disembodied voices.
I'm just
all
still
in one session.
baffled by this because, like, why in the world would this portion of it fall off?
Step away from that, please.
Was that you that ripped the notepad off?
If it was, can you please light that up again?
I mean, after that shit, I mean, I'm gonna be rolling.
I want something else to fucking fly.
I know.
Sean, we need things like this to happen, okay? This is what we're here for.
Like I said, like, there's no way, though, because, like, that was on here the entire time we were here. And no one was moving.
Forever.
Yeah.
Like, what are the odds it would fall just now?
And just that one portion. It's not like the whole thing fell down. It's like, okay, then it was, you know, it lost the stickiness to it.
Didn't lose the stickiness.
But it's like it ripped a portion of it off.
It has to be torn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like in between it, right? Like
Yeah.
the middle.
There's still, like, that much left of it.
So it had to be torn.
Can you show us where you're at in the house, please?
Did you hear something?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know, but it came from back here.
In the corner.
Oh, I thought I heard it over here.
I heard it over there.
I heard, whatever it was, I heard it. And it wasn't those frogs.
No, because that's constant outside. That was something else. That was so quiet, though. I don't know if any of us would have gotten that.
You know, there's those bells, like, all over the place around here. Maybe if they could ring a bell for
There's one in Mike's room at the top of the door frame.
Can you make another noise for us? To let us know that you're here with us? Was that the same sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Did you hear that, John?
It's so faint.
Yeah, it's like, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And it's not the frogs that's outside.
No. I keep looking over in Mike's room.
So do I.
Like,
I thought I saw something in there earlier.
ever since last time we were here, when I was here, I saw something in there. And then ever since I heard something playing in my camera bag earlier, I can't stop looking in that direction.
Should we go in it?
Want to go play in there?
We could.
Do you want us to leave this room? If we leave this room, will you talk to us through that recorder?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Why every time we're like switching things up,
And no one...
this goes off? Like when we're ready to like do
Right?
something else.
Alright, well...
Thanks. Can you turn that off for a second?
Just like on command.
Yeah, every time. Oh,
Okay.
oh my god.
See, it's like I was about to say that. Are you playing games?
I just fucking missed that.
I was gonna say, so far it's like I think they're still a little bit timid.
Yeah.
And it's like they're kind of just messing with us. So like, obviously they haven't said anything in the recorder, so they're not wanting to speak yet. And, John, are you recording?
Uh-huh.
But it seems like every time like you are handing the camera over, return our backs, it turns this off or turns it on.
Anytime we're ready to do something else, or
Yeah.
like yeah, it's been doing that.
And then like I said, and then the thing in there, like when we're like doing stuff in here, they're in there doing whatever. If that was potentially a spirit, but It was very odd. So that's what I'm taking so far. They're still trying to warm up to us and just playing around, really. It's crazy to me that we were still basically at the beginning of this investigation. The notepad falling off the fridge was something I never expected coming into this investigation at all. And the thing that blows my mind about it, which I talked about it previously already, the thing that I don't understand is why didn't the whole thing get ripped off? Literally only like a portion of it was ripped off the notepad. If it was the stickiness being rubbed off over time and the thing just falls down, okay, whatever. But it's the fact of that it was just only half of the notepad and the one half was still stuck to the fridge over here and then the other half or portion is on the ground. Something literally had to take that and rip it off the fucking fridge. Was this a ghost? I don't know. But at the same time, I don't see how that's possible to just fall off randomly like that. In my opinion, I truly think it was the spirits trying to get our attention right off the fucking bat. Alongside with that, we got a few REM pod hits, which is cool, but you know, I need to see more. But the thing that was confusing for me is during this time I was doing an EVP session and we didn't receive any results of voices coming through the recorder. To me, this is just the spirits trying to get our attention, but maybe they just weren't warmed up to us enough yet to want to speak to us. But in the next portion of this investigation, I think they finally warmed up to us.
Well, this is Mike's room. Mike's the one that had the weird car thing happen, where his car mysteriously appeared here even though it was in the shop and then disappeared. And then he was in a very strange car accident. Where there was a second person in the accident, there was an indent from their head, but that second person never actually existed.
They said something like it was a blonde girl or something. I don't know how they came up with that.
It was because, so when the car originally pulled in here, when it didn't actually pull in here, it was seen by Clara, the mother. And she actually said that there was a blonde girl in the car with her son when they pulled up, but then the car mysteriously disappeared. And it said that that girl was in the accident too, but they never found any proof that she ever actually existed.
So if there's anyone that would like to communicate with us here in Michael's room or Mike's room, can you tell us something in that little recorder, please? Right behind me.
Last time we were here, we saw something in here. Can you tell us your name?
Can you tell us about Mike's car?
Do you have a favorite toy in this room? If so, what is it?
Maybe I'll sit on the bed.
Alright. So if there's anyone that would like to communicate with us here in Michael's room or Mike's room, can you tell us something in that little recorder, please? Right behind me.
Last time we were here, we saw something in here. Can you tell us your name?
Can you tell us about Mike's car?
Do you have a favorite toy in this room? If so, what is it?
John, actually, set that over on the counter.
Why the counter?
Just do it.
Which counter?
Just like where all the stuff
Just
is.
do it.
Or you can put it on the fridge. Put it on the fridge. So once again, if there's anyone in here with us, either in this room or the kitchen, can you go up to that little recorder on the fridge over there? Is that the music box?
That was a music box. That made me jump.
Where is it?
It's in the living room between the...
Yeah, it's facing towards the living room.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on the floor?
Yeah.
You can walk in here with us. Can you come in here with us?
No way.
Thank you. Now, can you walk in here and speak into that recorder on the fridge and say hello to us? Where are you at right now? Because we can't see you. It's weirding me out that it only went off for like second there, and now it just stopped. Like, it'd be less creepy if it just kept going off, but the fact that it's like...
It's like someone just passed by.
Yeah.
It's not standing there ready to keep answering.
And clearly something was in the living room earlier playing with the REM pod.
Yeah, so it seems to be like the area for the equipment to go off right now.
Are you in the living room right now? Can you tell us where you're at? Could you make a noise for us to show us where you're at?
Set that over on the counter. Why the counter? Just do it. Which counter? Just like where all the stuff is. Or you can put it on the fridge. Put it on the fridge. So once again, if there's anyone in here with us, either in this room or the kitchen, can you go up to that little recorder on the fridge over there? Just the music box. That was a music box. That made me jump.
Where is it?
Yeah, it's basically what's living room.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on the floor?
Yeah. You can walk in here with us. Can you come in here with us?
No way.
Thank you. Now, can you walk in here and speak into that recorder on the fridge and say hello to us? Where are you at right now? Because we can't see you. Are you in the living room right now?
Is there something there?
Yeah, I don't know if it was one of us whispering or something, but I'll play it again.
Are you in the living room right now?
There's something there. It's like 2 syllables.
Are you in the living room right now?
I can't even make out what it is. It's whispering, though. Here,
Let me-
put it up to your ear. Other way. Because of the speakers on the back.
Are you in the living room right now?
In the bed.
Is that what it's saying?
It says in the bed.
You want to play it back again for you?
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, it's something whispering.
It's recording still.
Are you in the living room right now?
I heard it that
You
time.
hear it? Okay,
Yeah.
Play it again. Play it again.
Play it out loud so the camera can hear and everything.
Not really bright.
Yeah, it's...
Are you in the living room right now?
It's in the bed or I'm in the bed.
Yeah, it's either this bed or I'm thinking it might be upstairs.
Stairs. So do you think we should do one more in here to confirm? Because is it talking about...
This room or is it talking about upstairs?
Stairs, yeah.
I say do one more, but set it on this. Use this as like a trigger object or whatever, because it fell.
Look at John.
Yeah, look at you thinking of
Here.
things.
I can't have a box drawn.
Start a new recording, Tara.
Okay.
So we just want confirmation. It seems like someone spoke in the recorder, which I thank you for that. And it seemed like someone said that they're in one of the beds. Are you referring to the bed that Paige is sitting on in here? Or are you referring to the bed upstairs? Upstairs or downstairs?
If you want us to come upstairs, can you just give us a simple yes?
John, ask your dumb question.
Are you the one who tore that pad of paper off of the refrigerator?
Are you gonna crawl into bed with Tommy tonight?
I don't think I can get him pregnant though, so that's a good thing.
Should I put it on the bed? Yeah, no. Oh, yeah.
That's the film he was talking about.
No.
So we just want confirmation. It seems like someone spoke in the recorder, which I thank you for that. And it seemed like someone said that they're in one of the beds. Are you referring to the bed that Paige is sitting on in here? Or are you referring to the bed upstairs? Upstairs or downstairs?
Is that something?
I think it says upstairs.
I heard something there. I swear to God.
Upstairs or downstairs?
Dude. That's a 2-syllable thing again.
It's a faint whisper.
Upstairs or downstairs?
If you hold this backwards and go like that, it'll...
Upstairs or downstairs?
It says upstairs. It's very faint, but it says upstairs.
Before this session, Paige was getting weird vibes from the room. So that's when I decided, hey, let's go in there and see what we can get. And you all know me, I'm a huge fan of EVPs, so I was like, we gotta get an EVP. So we all sat down in there and began our EVP session. Well, lo and behold, we captured 2 EVPs. Although they were very faint, the first one was more clear. The first one saying, it's on the bed. We were very confused when we heard this because was it referring to the beds that were in the room, or was it referring to one of the beds upstairs? And the thing that's so creepy about it is, why did it say it? It didn't say he's on the bed or she's on the bed. It said it. To me, that just, I don't know, it's just very creepy. And just in the middle of this, we started getting some music box activity coming over from the living room. So it seems to me they were still very curious about us, but from a distance. Now the thing with EVPs is, can you really determine how far away that voice is coming from? Because I'm not so sure. As the music box was going off in the living room, does that mean they were in the living room, or was the voice actually coming from within the bedroom? That's something that always just strikes my curiosity. And then we didn't really seem to get much else until we hear another EVP, and it sounds like upstairs to Paige. In post-production, it's very hard to hear the last part of it. I definitely heard up, but it's so faint. Let me know down in the comments below what you think that EVP said. Now the moment you've all been waiting for, the haunted doll. I don't know if anyone has done this before, but I'm gonna do it. So, apparently this doll over here in this case is haunted, and it survived 3 fires?
That might have been me.
So apparently it's survived 3 fires, and I don't know, it's about 4 in the morning now. And it seems like stuff kind of died down, so I'm going to see if this does anything. I hope this thing doesn't break. Alright, well. Alright. They plug it in and like glows, that's weird.
She's creepy.
Oh god, just look at the eyes.
It's not a Christmas tree topper, is it?
I don't think
It's
so.
got the wings.
I feel really...
That's temperature.
And it's red, like it's hot.
No, it's always red when it's temperature.
Okay, well...
Can you step away from that, please?
Dude, this smells burnt.
Well, yeah.
Like straight
That's
up.
odd that that's going off with temperature as soon as you touch that and you mentioned she's survived fires.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like a really tightness in my chest, too. I don't know if I should have done this. So I'm gonna try an EVP.
Don't get it on camera.
Is there a name for this? Oh yeah, my owner, Irma Holt, was born in 1956 as the young.
As soon as you said Irma.
This is starting to... The temperature thing on this is going to start about to... Is the youngest daughter in the house. She has only a older brother. Irma got the doll when she was 5 years old in 1961. What?
Your microphone isn't on. Is it?
Is there blue
It's a
light?
blue light.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. The doll has been exposed to large fires in the house several times. Irma grew up in an old house made of wood. Yeah. Irma was afraid of thunderstorms and isn't...
It's yours now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Anyways.
Is that you setting it up?
Anyways, so is the doll named Irma?
No, that's the owner.
Alright, well.
I guess he did lose the fingernail.
So, if there's anything attached to this doll, can you tell us what your owner's name was?
I just heard something
What does it sound like?
but it was like right after you said that.
Is it true that this doll actually survived several fires? What was that?
Yeah, there's birds at night here. We had that before.
4:30 in the morning, 4:40, and there's birds chirping outside.
Yeah.
Are you perhaps angry that I took you out of the case? Was that a bad idea? Are you still attached to this doll? Let me know if you want me to put you back. Give us another sign that you're here.
Which one is it?
That's that one. Behind you.
Oh,
Thank you.
that was instant.
Can you touch it all the way? Can you touch the antenna like you were doing it earlier?
I just find it so interesting that it's only temperature.
Yeah.
I feel like we should open the basement door. No. Do you want to open it or should I?
I can go.
Do you want to go together? Okay. Do you want to bring the camera?
Buddy system,
Like-
yeah.
I'll leave this camera with you. We're gonna open the door, see if anything happens when we do.
That's just us. Did you just make a sound?
Yeah. Wait.
Oh, okay.
Alright, if there's anyone downstairs, you can come up now.
What the hell, dude? Every time I asked to give a sign. That's both of them.
No way.
No
Holy
way.
shit.
That's weird.
Simultaneously, like,
Wow.
I've never heard them both go. That's weird.
Dude, that doll.
After I
there's
said give a
something-
sign. Are you angry that I took the doll out?
You wanted to amp it up, and look what's happening.
I thought it would. Do you want me to put the doll back now? I don't mean any disrespect. I love dolls. I just wanted to see what would happen. And clearly you made your presence known. Is there anything else I should ask her? Like... One more time, if there's a spirit attached to this doll, can you make both of these turn on again? Both light up and make a noise?
Do you think this doll caused the fires?
Could.
God, your apartment's gonna burn down.
Did,
Did this doll cause the fires? If so, set the other temperature gauge off.
God, ask the doll. Like, directly. Say, did you cause it?
did you cause fires?
Give us a sign.
Give us a bigger sign. Just not let go of that. Did you cause fires here?
It wasn't here.
Oh, well, yeah, I meant Did you cause fires previously where you were at?
Wow.
I feel like she would have, because she's the only thing that didn't burn.
Yeah.
And then she comes out and she's setting off temperature. Maybe she's.
No, I'm telling you, you can straight up. Do you want to smell it?
Sure.
It smells like
I don't
burnt,
wanna
the
hear-
hair,
I don't wanna hear that.
It does.
right? I know you can't smell through a camera, but I mean, it smells like charred.
Did I just inhale a spirit?
I don't know. You think that's good?
I don't want to
That's
pretty
good. That
yeah,
was,
that
wanna
was pretty
overdo it.
intense.
All right, I still got to listen to the recording, so
yeah.
Oh, right.
should I put the doll back now and listen to the recording?
Yeah.
Or you can set her in the chair for now. Keep her out. We can put her back before bed or whatever.
Put the recorder on her and listen to it and film it.
God, yes. And that's how you executive produce.
All right. It's 5 minutes and 43 seconds. All right, you ready?
You're gonna film it though.
Okay, that's fine.
My back hurts.
All right, here we go.
Anyways, so is the doll named Irma?
No, that's Elmer.
Alright, well,
But I guess you can do that.
so if there's anything attached to this doll, can you tell us what your owner's name was? Is it true that this doll actually survived several fires? What was that?
That was a bird.
Yeah, there's birds at night.
Wait. That was like a whisper.
Is it true that this doll actually survived several fires? What was that?
Wait, I'll play one more time. Or maybe I'm starting to hear shit like that.
Is it true that this doll actually survived several fires? What was that?
It almost sounds like it says that was me.
It's like right after you said that.
Is it true that
Can you stop for a second,
actually
please?
survived several fires? What was that?
Yeah, there's birds at night here.
I'll keep it going.
4:30 in the morning.
What?
Are you perhaps angry that I
Oh shit.
took you out of the case?
Oh my gosh.
Was that a bad idea?
Are you pissed that we took the doll out? I'm getting like chills.
Are you still attached to this doll?
Oh my god.
Let me know if you want me to put you back. Give us another sign that you're here.
Which one is it?
That's that one. Behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
That was instant.
Can you touch it all the way? Can you touch the antenna like you were doing it earlier?
I just find it so interesting that it's only temperature.
Yeah. I feel like we should open the basement door. Wait, we want to walk around with this doll and what?
No. Do you want to open it or should I?
I can open it.
Do you want to go together? Do you want to bring the camera? Do you want to go together?
I can't hear it.
Do you want to
Almost.
bring the camera?
God, can that thing stop for a second, please? It almost sounds like, and I don't know if I'm hearing this right because I think, but after John says about open the door, and it sounds like someone.
The rocking chair?
You might have bumped it.
It sounds like a girl saying, "Don't open it."
Let me see.
I don't know, but I couldn't hear shit because of the.
I feel like we should open the basement door. Wait, we want to walk around with this doll and what?
No. Do you want to open it or should I?
I can open it.
Do you want to go together? Do you want to bring the camera?
Did I go back to play? It was. It might have not been it because then every time I was trying to play it, the thing was going on.
Can you touch it all the way? Can you touch the antenna like you were doing it earlier?
I just find it so interesting that it's only temperature.
Yeah. I feel like we should open the basement door. Wait, we want to walk around with this doll and what?
No. Do you want to open it or should I?
I can open it.
Do you want to go together? Do you want to bring the camera? Like,
Yeah, okay.
I'll leave this camera with you. We're going to open the door, see if anything happens when we do.
Okay. Is anything gonna happen to me if because of this? Please give me a sign that there's something attached to this doll and that you're here. What the hell, dude? Every time I asked to give
Oh
a
my,
sign.
what is that? That was a girl. Oh my god, dude. That was a girl screaming right when that happened.
Attached to this doll and that you're here. What the hell, dude? Every time I asked to give a sign.
No,
That's both of them.
that's a girl screaming like in agony, dude.
My eyes are watering. Oh my god.
This.
No.
No. Listen to this, dude. It's a girl screaming in
Please
agony.
give me a sign that there's something attached to this doll and that you're here. What the hell, dude? Every time I asked to give a sign.
It's so loud.
That's both of them.
And none of us heard it in real time.
Shit.
Play that back. How do you do that?
Simon.
That is horrifying. That's a girl screaming like, oh, oh.
Yeah.
I can't. This sounds terrible, but
Yeah.
hold it again.
I feel like we should
Listen to
open
this.
the basement door. Wait, you want to walk around with this doll and what? No.
It's coming up.
Do you want to open it or should I? Do you want to go together? Do you want to bring the camera?
It's when you guys are fucking around over
I'll
there.
leave this camera with you. We're going to open the door, see if anything happens when we do.
This is not Terror Page.
Please give me a sign that there's something
is.
attached to this doll and that you're here. What the hell, dude? Every time I asked to give a sign.
That is.
Keep it playing, keep it
It's
playing.
both of them. Holy shit.
Okay, I definitely say that that was
Simultaneously, like, I've never heard them both go. That's weird. Dude, after I said give a sign. Are you angry that I took the doll out?
You wanted to amp it up, and look what's happening.
I thought it would. Do you want me to put the doll back now? I don't mean any disrespect. I love dolls. I just wanted to see what would happen. And clearly you made your presence known.
minute 30 seconds.
Yours is shaking so
I
bad.
God, your apartment's gonna burn
What did I
down.
do? Is there a reason probably how they are touching that thing?
Did this doll cause the fires? If so, set the other temperature. So,
God, ask the doll. Like directly, say, did you cause fires?
give us a sign.
Give us a bigger sign.
Wait, can you go back to when you first said, did you cause the fire?
Let go of that.
Just like 10 seconds ago, maybe.
Did you cause fires here?
Wasn't here.
Oh, well, yeah, I meant Did you cause fires previously where you were at?
What was that?
Cause fires here?
Wasn't here.
Oh, well, yeah, I meant Did you cause fires previously where you were at?
That sounds.
Oh, well, yeah, I meant Did you cause fires previously where you were at?
That's like a growl or some shit, dude.
I don't think it's a growl. I think it's some kind of moan.
Here?
Play it again one more time.
Wasn't here.
Oh, well, yeah, I meant Did you cause fires previously where you were at?
Yeah, it's so
I don't know.
I feel like she would have, because she's
There's still
yelling
30
at
seconds
the
left. Okay, well,
Well, she's definitely haunted.
I would 100% say the doll is haunted, and I'm not going to do anything else with the doll after that.
She's haunted for
Probably
sure.
set a boundary between yourself and the doll.
Yeah, you should do that.
What do you mean?
Like as you place her back in her case, you should probably set a
You
boundary.
want to film for that?
Yeah.
So yeah, don't do this. Okay? If you're watching this, don't do this. Don't do. Yeah. So, and what I heard, literally, John had the camera right when you guys went over there,
Yeah, we had.
and I was just here by myself as you just watched, and it sounded like from where you guys were at, like a girl like crying or screaming in agony.
And it wasn't us. Like I couldn't even imitate
No.
that.
No.
No, I couldn't.
And you'll see it. Probably saw it in John's footage. And then the other one was like a
moan or a
Yeah,
groan
something
or
like a
something.
moan.
And there was even one even before the loud crying,
Yeah,
It was a
some
word.
sort of
like a
whine.
whimpering or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm gonna put this doll back where it belongs. Again, do not do what I just did. I don't recommend it. So, again, I don't mean any disrespect to whatever spirit's attached to this doll. I'm gonna put you back where you were. I know you mean business, and you are for sure attached to this doll, and you don't have permission to follow anyone here home. You're to remain here at the Hinsdale House, or in this case,
Where's that red light?
this is the.
Oh, it's kind of on.
So that being said, thank you for communicating with me, but I didn't mean to disrupt or harm or whatever. I don't even know what to say. Like, I was like shaking, like I don't have no words. So I did that for you guys.
That's great. Yeah, we did it for us. All right.
All right, yeah, that's it.
You just spooked yourself?
Yeah.
I really have no words for that last portion. Some might call me a giant idiot for what I did, and that's okay.
It's true.
It's true. The first time I came to the Hinsdale house and I saw the doll sitting in the case, it was destiny, baby. From the moment my eyes made contact with that doll, I knew I had to take it out of the case. It's like it was telling me to. Take me out of the case, Tommy. Just like that. But it was really like it wanted me to take it out of the case. Unfortunately, the first time I never got a chance to do it, and I honestly, I don't think I had the balls to do it. But that was until this time. And I remember telling Taryn Page when we arrived at Hinsdale House, I said, I'm gonna take the doll out of the case. It was telling me to, so I did. Now, if you also know me, you would know that I have a strange obsession with creepy or haunted dolls. The thing that I always wondered is, can a doll truly be haunted? Or is it just caused from the location itself? Maybe a residual haunting through a doll. So the biggest reason I did what I did was because I really wanted to know, hey, is this doll truly haunted? I definitely say it was. The activity that we received seemed to actually be residual. That doll surviving through 3 house fires, just based off the REM pod temperature setting going off. At perhaps a warmer temperature, could this have ties to a residual haunting within the doll of the past fires it's been through? And then you got the insane EVPs, and the first one that comes to mind is the lady or whatever screaming or whimpering. That one truly shook me to the core. I can't explain it. Now, a lot of people watching this might think, oh, well, there was 2 women in the room. It might have been Tara Page. I'm telling you that no one was screaming or whimpering like that throughout that session. Still, to this day, at this moment, blows my freaking mind as to why a lady would be screaming. And yet again, could this have ties to a residual haunting of a past house fire that doll's been through, of a lady in turmoil? That was by far probably one of the most bone-chilling EVPs I've ever captured. And then the other one, you got some sort of groan. At first I thought it was like a growl, but as you listen to it more, you can tell it's like a groan. So you got a woman, and then you got a deeper like groan. So is that 2 different spirits, or is it the same one? Not only that, we missed an EVP during this, in which I didn't notice once again until post-production, of when John was saying, hey, I'm gonna go open up this door and see if anything happens. And as he's saying that, a voice comes through and says, I can only open it. You tell me. I don't think I've been hit this hard at an investigation in a very long time. And I would definitely say the Hinsdale House is one of the most haunted locations I have ever been to, including the doll, in which I recommend not taking the doll out of the case. It's not for the faint of heart, and you're definitely not supposed to. So if you made it this far in the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And if there's something that we missed in this video that you saw, make sure you leave a comment down below and let us know. And make sure you stop on over to Paranormal XP's channel and show them some love. They make some great videos and great content. And other than that, I'm going home. That's it. I'll light one more cigarette before I go. Hell. All right. I love each and every one of you so much.